Hello everyone, let's start with the series roadmap to become competitive programmer 5 stars. So in this video I'll be explaining the 40th problem and its name is small factorial. It says you are asked to calculate factorial of some small positive integers. Okay, okay, I think you guys know how to find the factorial in mathematics. I'll be showing you how to find in code right now. So they are given in an integer t, um, which is from 1 to 100, denoting a number of test cases followed by t lines. Basically we have test case int t c in t while t minus. This will take care of all the test cases and followed by t lines, and each containing a single integer t n. Okay, each test case contain an n whose factorial we need to find. Okay, for each yeah, that is the thing we'll have to find. Display the line. Okay, we have given n test cases for 1 2 3 5. Let me take you to the board. What did it say? So yeah, like n value ranges from 1 to 100. So if you try to find the factorial, let's say some 10 factorial, in question they're given n is 1, which means 1 factorial we'll have to find. So as we know 1 factorial is 1 only, so our answer is 1. What about n is equal to 2? If you want to find factorial of 2, that will be 2 into 1, which is 2. If you want a factorial of 3, how do we find? 3 into 2 into 1, which gives us 6. If we want to find the factorial of 4, this will give us 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, which is 12, 24. So in this way we'll have to find the factorial, but how can we find using program? See, the problem comes where is we are doing by one of the language, and in C++ or Python or any language you take, so integer limit, if you see, uh, like integer number can be stored in 32 bits, right? We can store integer in 32 bits and if you try to represent this number, that will be some 10 power 10 number. Okay, 10 power 10 number. But if you try to find, let's say, 12 factorial or something like that, this number will be more than 10 power 10, more than 10 power 10, which cannot be stored in a variable. So if you cannot store in a variable, so how can you find the factorial of a number? So that's the question now, because or if it was, let's say, a factorial of 50, if you want to find, then you could do this way: 50 into 49 into 48 into up to so on 3 2 1. But this last number you cannot store in a variable, any variable, so that will be overflow and you cannot find the factorial of a number. So one way that we'll be using is vector, or you can say array. So array we'll be using, in array first we'll take one array, its size will be 1 and we'll store only 1. Now let's say n is equal to 1. So n is equal to 1 means simply this number we will return. 1's factorial is 1, we know. When n is equal to 2, our array still has 1, but it's not a correct factorial. So we will, since 1 already we have, so we need to multiply this number by 2. So if we multiply this number by 2, our array becomes this way, 2. Now let's say this is the correct answer, and for n factorial, I mean 2 factorial is 2, we'll return this. When n is equal to 3, we have 1. We have 1 in our this thing, in our vector. We will 1 we have, I mean 3 factorial we are finding, 1 we have. We need to find out 2. So we'll multiply this number by 2. So again in vector this is the thing. Now we'll have to multiply 3 also. For this we'll have to multiply by 3, which will give us 6. So for n factorial, 3 factorial, we'll return this. What about n is equal to 4? If n is equal to 4, our array will be initialized with 1. So 4 factorial, if you are trying to find that 1 we have here, but we need to multiply it by 2. So we'll multiply by 2. So this will give 2. We'll multiply again by 3. So 3 into 2 will give us 6. But one more number is a 4. We'll have to multiply by 4. When you multiply it by 4, our answer will be 24. But we cannot store here 24, right? So to store 24, we will require this way. We'll be storing in reverse way, 4 2. 4 2. In this way, we will be storing. Why? Reason being, whenever you next, let's say you'll try to find the 5 factorial, so you will multiply it by 5. And now if you try to multiply, if the vector was stored in this way 2 4, so multiplication happens from here, right? Multiply happens from the left side. You'll find 5 4s are 20, 0, 10, 12. Okay, this is the correct one. So we will store in reverse way such that any new addition number what is happening will be inserting at the end. What do mean by that is that, let's say we have 120. Yeah, we have one. If you try to multiply it by, let's say, 6, because 6 factorial will be 5 factorial into 6, it is 0. 6 2s are 12. Y 0, 6 0 0, 6 2s are 12. 1 remains, 6 on 6 plus 1. Carries are getting, right? So we'll have to encounter carry also, and if that carry crosses this range, in two spaces we cannot store the number, we'll have to move to the next one. In this case we have seen, right, this was the 6 and we need to multiply it by 4. 6 was there, we need to multiply it by 4, so that we got 24. And once we got 24, the modulo part, 24 modulo 10 if you do, that is 4. So this part will be storing at this location, which is present 6, which is true. Now we have carry 24 by 10 if you do, that is 2. 2 is the carry. And once we have multiplied all the things, if we have carry, we'll append that carry to the vector R. So if you want to read this, just reverse it. So this will give 24, and 24 is the answer for 4 factorial, right? So I think you got what I'm trying to say. Let's do it for 5 factorial now. Now if you want 5 factorial, that will be your array still. Now I'll continue with this one. Your array has, let's say, 42. 4 2. In this way it is actually 24, and you are multiplying it by 5. So if you multiply it this, 5 4s are 20. So 20 means we will store this part. We are storing this part, and this 2 is carry. 2 is carry. So again we'll multiply 5 2 are 10 plus this 2 is 12. 12 we have got. If you do modulo 10, which is basically you will get this part 2. 2 you have stored it. If you reverse it, it will be 20 only, but you have carry also. 12 by 10 if you do, that is 1. 1 is carry. So now you don't have anything to multiply. So when you come out of the loop, so you'll have to append this carry. Carry was 1, so you appended. If you want to find the 5 factorial, just try to reverse this. If you reverse this, it will be 1 2 0. So in this way what we are doing is 1 digit we are storing in a vector, so that there is no flow of the integer range or long range or something like that. Got it, right? So yeah, in this way I'll be solving basically. Let's try to code it up. Was that looking? So what was I doing? I took one vector, let's say it's an answer, and first we will push back 1 into the vector, and we'll iterate a loop. I mean, we were multiplying that number, right? We'll multiply that number from 2 to num lesser than equals to n, because to find a factorial we need to, for a 5 factorial you will have to do 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. So 1 is already done, so you're doing with second two numbers I plus plus. So now you will do a multiplication for all the elements present in this vector. So we'll take one I, let's say I0, I less than answer dot size I plus plus. Okay, now let's take into val. That val will be basically multiplication of from this number to element present in this, and before that we'll take one carry also. Int carry is equal to 0. This will take care of the carry if any carry we are taking forward, so that our number is correct. So we'll do num star answer of I plus carry we are doing, and what we will be storing at ith position in answer vector, we will be storing answer of I is equals to val modulo 10. Modulo 10 will store, and what will be carry? Carry is equal to carry divided by 10. Once we come, I mean, multiply all the elements present in the answer vector, we will come out of this loop, and now we will find if we have any carry. So we'll find if we have any carry. So in that case, since our size was only answer dot size, I mean vector size, so we'll have to increase that size because carry cannot be put in. So that carry will be pushing from the back of the vector. Push back carry modulo 10 will do, and carry again will divide it by 10. So once we come out of the loop, we will basically have the factorial of n, and that we need to display. So in order to display, we'll have to iterate. I mean, first you have to reverse it and then display from the front, or else you can do is just traverse from the back, and whatever you're getting, just display then. So I'll do that. I is equal to answer dot size minus 1, that is basically the last index. I'm traveling from back, answer of I, and when we come out of the loop, we'll have to put endl because you have multiple test cases, so that should be printed in the next line. Let's try to run the code. Acha, I plus plus I'm done here. It is num, so I is not defined. We'll have to do here num plus plus. Let's try to run the code. Why are we getting a 0? It is zone 20. Why are we getting 0? Let us find here num's answer of I. We have this value. Acha, carry this value divided by carry. Whatever value we're getting, the modulo operation you're doing that with the 10, so you're getting the number that has to be inserted at answer of I position. But that value divided by 10, if you do that, will get the carry. So yeah, it is correct. Let's try to submit the code. It got accepted. So this was it. Basically, in a variable we cannot store the large number, so in order to store that large number we used vector and some of the multiplication method from basically stored number in reverse way and did multiplication for all the answer of. Let's say we store the number like in a straight way. We were storing 42, I mean 24 as 42, but let's say we store it as 24 only. So in that case, even if you do multiplication, let's say from the back end side, I mean 4 2, because multiplication has to be done from the smallest number, least significant bit. So when you do that, so you will be multiplying. If you have a carry, you need to put front the element, so that operation takes off in time, because whatever element you have, that you'll have to shift right side and then you will be inserting carry. So because of that, we will actually store, I mean reverse the number, and we'll be doing multiplication. If we have any carry, we'll just put into back, and whenever we are I mean printing the answer, we'll have to basically traverse from the back side. So So yeah, that was it from this problem. Thank you guys for watching the video.